Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Finally, welcome again to another BRBPTV live interaction, reaction, vibrations right there. Of course, I would have tended to do this a bit later on, but I decided, well, not decided, but there's an engagement that is coming up around 7, so I have to roll out in that regard right there. But of course, I'm going to bring you that vibrations. Of course, there was some sort of press conference, none other by Skerrit himself, and we're gonna check into that vibrations right there. If you guys are in the building, let me know that you guys are in the building, and of course I would appreciate you guys letting me know that you are here and where exactly are you watching from right there. Welcome to another BRBPTV interaction reaction vibes, and of course I appreciate you guys definitely for being a part of these here vibes right there. Wow, this is a bit different. Okay, well, it is what it is. That's okay. Let me see the other one. Yes, guys. So you guys, if you're coming into the building, you know the route already. You know the rule. The rule. You know the customary action. Of course, we have 10 minutes to get individuals coming inside here, and of course, you know that's what we tend to do. Like I indicated before, brothers and sisters, we're going to go into some of the stuff that we have heard about when it comes down to the questions that have been asked to Skerrit, of course, on a interesting meet right there. If you guys are in the building, let me see how many of you guys are in the building right now. There's 2 of you guys. That's crazy. Right there. I know it's a bit early for this here reaction. Normally I would tend to do this around 7 o'clock, but like I indicated before, guys, I am going to do another engagement very soon, so I definitely try my best to do this reaction right there. Hopefully I can knock it out in an hour. But welcome to every single one of you guys who are in the building right now. There's 3 of you guys. I appreciate you guys right there. Individuals, I appreciate the thumbs up. Like I indicated before, I'm just gonna be here for, you know, hopefully an hour, and of course the individuals who will miss it will definitely get the reaction a bit later on today. I know it's a bit early. It's like 5 o'clock in Dominica, so some of you guys probably just come out and eat breakfast. Not breakfast, lunch. By the way, guys, I actually have the latest vlog. Let me send you guys the latest vlog that I actually did right there, so you guys can check it out after this here reaction vibrations. And of course, I do appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. Of course, I did the latest vlog. If you don't know, hey, Mr. Lex, where you at right now? Oh my goodness, Mr. Lex, what's going on? Well, I got you covered. I got you guys covered right there. I'm gonna share the link. Actually, just finding the link right there for you guys so I can set it up. Okay, and then I'll post it. Let me just make it play right there, and then I'll post up the link in time to come, guys.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now, wish me luck, Grammarly has again been a lifesaver with my application.
Yes, sir. Welcome to Mr. Alex vlog. I'm not gonna lie, guys, every time I play this stuff, man, it always has me excited. I'm not sure about you guys, but it always has me excited. This is not what we're gonna be reacting today. I'm just gonna run a quick snippet of this. This is actually 32 minutes long. Obviously, I'm just gonna be in here for the drop this thing for the next 5 minutes, guys, to take you guys on the journey with me right there. Like I indicated before, I'll post this link in the description below. Guys, your boy is back again. Welcome to another Mr. Lex vlog. Guys, it's hot in this place though. Papa, man, dressed up, man. I dressed up in this heat. Look at that, I sweating like crazy. Guys, your boy is heading up. Guys, and imagine the day before, Dom leg take lights, you know. Dom leg had take lights. Dom leg take lights on your boy. And I did utter darkness trying to do another light. Once again, man, welcome to another vibration. Crazy. Right there. Anyways, guys, let's continue. On this here, Mr. Lex. For those of you joining in, this is not what I'm gonna be reacting to. This is a vlog that I dropped earlier today, actually. Earlier in the morning. Yes. I dropped this earlier in the morning, guys. And oh no, it's actually 7 o'clock in Dominica. That's interesting. Yeah, so I have like an hour to play with, but like I indicated before, I'm just gonna be running some stuff in 10 minutes right there for about 5 more minutes actually. vlog. Whoop, whoop. Come on that journey once again with me, man. I don't want to get copyrighted. I will be flying up. Why? Whoop, 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 whoop. Boy, hopefully we reach on time, guys. So, guys, your boy has made it in the airport. And I come the partner tell me 1 minute, 3 minutes. Right? So I guess they're trying to work out some kind of vibes there. And hopefully everything works out. Guys, I check it where my phone goes, but I have it in my hand right now. They have Christmas at the airport, I guess. This is the Christmas tree. For those of you coming in, where are you guys watching from? Of course, this is not what I'm reacting to. I'm just gonna be playing this and then waiting for some individuals to jump in before we can get into the vibrations right there. Of course, I'm gonna be reacting to this right there. Of course, there was a number of questions I were asked to Skerrit. I'm not gonna do the whole press conference. I'm trying to go straight into the question and answer aspect right there. Let me stop that. Let's continue this one. With the gifts at the bottom, I wonder if they already started it up. Oh, they already started it up. Okay. So these people, I don't know if you guys noticed some individuals on the side of me. These folks are like... There are 10 of you guys in the building right now. Where are you guys watching from? Let me know that in the live chat box if you are subscribed to the channel. Obviously, you can only type if you are subscribed, if you are a subscriber on the channel right there. Yeah, long time before me, man. We got through. Yes, Nene. You want to say hello? You want to say hello to the people? Okay. You sure? You want to see what's going on the screen? Okay. Yes, alright. Oh, I need passport now? But I have food and the man don't do shit out of me now, bro. Yes, sir. I don't graduate nothing for the dinner, bro. The man laughing, laughing. Somebody let me see what inside. Papa God. Yes, Lord. Boy, I can... So guys, I've made it. I thought I wasn't gonna make it, no doubt about it, you know, because checking our clothes. You see me? I normally tend to have a carry-on, guys, but you know, people wanted stuff. I guess people checking, boy, they want some Dominica stuff, so I had to have a carry-on plus a checking bag plus another item, guys. Of course, a bag, if you set of things inside there. I will be leaving a lot of the stuff there because I don't know what I thought bringing my winter clothes to Dominica. I don't know if it's winter. I thought I was going to end up in Dominica. You know, climate change is happening. So the last night was kind of cool. So I'm bringing back my winter clothes. So all plastic. And my bag was kind of overweight. But thank God, they allowed me to go through. Kudos to. I appreciate the thumbs up that you guys have given so far. 10 of you guys in the building right now. 3 thumbs up. Don't forget, guys, to click the like button. Of course, helping to push these videos further and also letting individuals know that we are definitely in the building right now on your end. So let's continue. To all the individuals that watch the videos right there, I definitely appreciate you guys 150%. And I just saw somewhere I know that. Okay, guys, they're calling me. Guys, I didn't get the upgrade, unfortunately. I'd have liked to get the upgrade, you know, upgrade to business class again. But they tell me it's full, so it is what it is. But there's quite a bit of people, you know, I would turn that side, you know, but somebody don't want me to show them, so I wouldn't turn. By the way, guys, big up the Mystics family that I've actually met here today, man. Big up all yourself one time. I met quite a bit of you guys, no doubt about it. I met quite a bit of you guys, so I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys getting the hugs and the love. I feel the love, man, no doubt about it. Came here, I actually did a shape up and stuff on my hair, guys, before I left. And the individual that did the shape up was telling me about his mother always watching my videos, and I think it was because of her that got him on it as well. So of course, big up the Mystics family from across the board, man. Huge respect to you guys out there. I appreciate you guys 150 billion%. And then some, I just met some individuals in the airport who are Mystics family. Mystics as their name under their breath. I guess they were trying to be sure about it and stuff, but...
Listen, you want to skip this ad. I would too. But what if I told you there's a skip ads forever button?
So don't skip the ads, guys. Don't skip the ads. Let's continue. Hey. Big up the Mystics family one time. Where the people? Yes, I can't be making it. Look, my pants just come out there. I have to roll it back up, man. It's not winter time yet, so I have to lift my pants up in the air. Fellas, oh, come on, you're not smiling. Why is that the boy? Guys, we have 1 more minute of this and then we're heading into the video for today. Yes, I remember my first class days, my business class days. We got brothers. I see right in front there, boy. Yes, sir. I'm back with the heathens there, man. Yes, guys. So this is how it feels when you guys are watching my videos. I'm just watching my videos the other day, just checking. What am I doing, bro? I'm just going and having fun, man. That's how it goes sometimes, eh? Making it, man. I have no idea why I'm vlogging like this. To show you guys I walk up a step. So we enter in the plane. Right. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. The good old days, guys. We'll put all this seat up. It's full for real. Okay, alright then. Alright, Papa. Guys, you're probably wondering why I'm doing all this kind of excerpts. I need more minutes. I'm doing this for minutes, guys. But we have made it on the plane, guys, and of course I'm quite excited about that. It's been a minute. Not really, but I do appreciate you guys for definitely coming on the vibrations with your boy, man. Whoop, 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 man. You guys. Anyways, guys, let me share this in the thing so you guys can check it out right there. And then we're gonna get into the vibes for the day. Ladies vlog. I'll pin it so you guys to shoot any individual comment. You can just check it out after this here video, guys. Welcome to everyone. Where are you guys watching from? Okay, and with that steady right there, guys, let us get, there's 21 of you guys in here, and only 5 likes, brothers and sisters. Click the like button for me, please, right there. Click the thumbs up button. Okay, guys. Anyways, without further ado, let us get into the vibrations for today right there. Of course, Skerrit was asked a number of questions. He was doing his end of year press conference. Keep in mind, brothers and sisters, I must point out that Skerrit is also trying to push, from my understanding, his own electoral reform agenda. I think he met up with the Attorney General, and of course they're trying to push this on Monday. I believe people need to come together. If Dominicans really want free and fair change and put themselves aside, I think Dominicans need to stand up against what is happening in Dominica, because if electoral reform goes through and what Skerrit wants to go through goes through, you might as well just call him king and then pass on the dynasty to, well, pass on his dynasty to his children and his children, and everybody just become his Skerrit's dynasty's royal subjects. I think that'll be kind of crazy right there. So I think individuals need to show up and tell Skerrit, no, we're not in that business. We're not in it, man. But it's up to all you, eh? It's up to all you. If you want your future to be bright, make sure it's not like Orange. Anyways, guys, let's check the vibrations right there.
Long, so I'm trying to see whether I can shorten it. But I explain to some people, sometimes a question requires some explanation because there's so much misinformation in the public. So I try to see where do I position myself. So I'm hoping doing better.
You talk about misinformation. Use the one that giving the most misinformation ever.
So what remains first? Crystal Airport. Full space.
Guys, we don't know about that. Let's look at the questions.
Stages, both intended project, what participation group, among other groups, including.
You guys hear me? Okay, you guys hear me. I want to make sure that I get the questions and answer. You know they like to talk. It's just a talking business that going on there. Okay.
Take a look at this strange device that I'm holding in my hand. It's smaller than a quarter, but I...
With these comprehensive remarks, we could end now. So, Mr. John Baptist.
Thank you very much, because it always affords me that opportunity. What is CARICOM's position with the situation in Syria, if any, or has CARICOM discussed it and also updates with the Haiti situation? And then I'll come locally. The CBI program continues to be under heavy scrutiny, not only in Dominica, but all over. Are you satisfied that as a government you have done enough to ensure that the Dominica program is well overboard? And 2, is it possible that you give figures as it relates to the number of persons registered under the program for 2024 as a cash value?
I think Kala should have asked how many agents. Does he know the number of agents that Dominica have in selling passports? I think that would be a wonderful question right there. Let me speed up this thing, man.
Thank you very much. In respect to Syria and whether CARICOM has taken a position on this, CARICOM has not. We have not discussed the Syria situation. Obviously, we're all monitoring situation. I mean, we're hoping that calm can prevail, peace can prevail, because clearly this world does not need another conflict. But you know how unsettled this part of the world is. You have so many different factions and so many different groups. Our hope and prayer is that those factions and groups can understand the greater responsibility.
The noise that you're hearing is not on my end, guys. It's on their end. They need to do something about that.
Not only to their welfare and well-being, but to the welfare and well-being.
And if anybody is watching this video, your cord is the problem. Okay, you need to change your cord. Your cord might have some break in it or something of that sort. It might be an old cord, probably like the fire truck hose. But you know, I think you need to do something about your cord.
The rest of the world. I mean, we want to see an end to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. We want to see an end to the situation between Israel and Hezbollah and Palestinians.
We all know who is the one behind this, and I'm not calling the United States name, but most likely the leaders are the ones responsible for these things.
See an end in the conflict in Sudan between the two military forces, so that the world can come back to some kind of normalcy and redirect the resources that have been spent on these wars. The more critical matters confronting global citizenship. And so this is this is Dominica's view on this matter, and I'm sure that CARICOM shares the similar sentiments with regards to the situation in Syria. But in Syria, there are bigger powers that will deal with Syria, so on the issues. Yeah. Haiti continues to occupy our attention. You know, we worked with Haiti and the Haitian people in putting a governance structure in place, recognizing that there was no president and there will be no elections for so many years. That presidential council was put in place. Their views that it's not functioning the way that was originally envisaged. But again, we have to support the Haitian people. This is a sovereign, independent country. We don't want to appear to be interfering. We're simply here as CARICOM to provide the support that they need. There was one prime minister that was replaced, and we're hoping that they can get back to normalcy. What I believe Haiti needs, and we have said so, and I believe that there must be a clear timeline for elections in Haiti. There must be a goal set. You may not achieve the goal, but there must be a goal set. You can't, the Haitian people cannot live.
Wait a while. Skerrit, you that say not there? Skerrit, you that say not there? No, man. I don't hear that properly.
We have said so, and I believe that there must be a clear timeline for elections in Haiti.
Well, Dominica does have a clear timeline for elections. However, you are the one not keeping it, Skerrit. You're not keeping it, but you're talking about Haiti needs to have a clear-cut timeline for elections. You see why I skip him talking, brothers and sisters? Because most likely he's just, you know, just spewing things, man. Just spewing things out of his mouth.
There must be a goal set. You may not achieve the goal, but there must be a goal set. You can't, the Haitian people cannot leave the issue of elections unattended. Okay, so I believe that that they must set up a goal to have elections by a particular time, and work towards that. Work with the OAS and other partners, including CARICOM. So I believe that they need to set up a time frame for elections. Regards to the CBI, I think we have made a number of important changes and improvements. First of all, as you know, we had this agreement with the United States, the 6 points. We have implemented all of the 6 points in the United States. And also we have this memorandum of understanding among the OECS countries, the CBI program. There was the recommendation for the increase in prices. We have done that, and of course we're working towards.
Are the agents keeping it? Are the agents keeping these prices? They made a standard price for everybody and nobody can go below this thing. That's good. Are the agents keeping it? Because one of the things that we've noticed is that apparently Dominica made enough money, but based off certain documents and documentations, especially from documentaries we are hearing, is that some of the passports already should have been sold at 100,000, most likely was sold for much less, so that the agents can retain their fees. Because in other words, if a passport is selling for $100,000 and the agent has to get $5,000, even if the passport sells for $100,000 or $50,000 or $30,000, the agent still gets his $5,000. And what additional fees would have to come to the country in that regard? Because it's not just agent fees, and there's more fees in that regard. This is why some of the documentaries that have gone out, they stated that all these things was happening, but the agents became multi-millionaires overnight, so to speak. So it's not just saying certain things, Skerrit. I mean, come on.
Common legislation on a number of points. The issue of sharing of information, we're doing so. And in Dominica's case, what we have done, we have gone a bit further. And we have created an independent due diligence unit.
Of course.
And that due diligence unit is under the auspices, under the direction and control of the director of the FIU. And so it is separate now from the CBI unit. So that due diligence unit deals with the review and evaluation of all of the files which come to Dominica. So they review this,
Martel Coupel, big up yourself one time. I am there. You're not here, you're there. Where are you? Where exactly are you watching from, Martel?
Reports from the GRCC, and they review the due diligence reports, and they make this.
Well, I think that is good when it comes down to having a different body do it. My problem, however, is when Skerrit is announcing that somebody else is doing it, I keep thinking that there's some sort of association that Skerrit has with these set of people. That's how I think, because the way there's such a high level of corruption in the CBI program, you tend to wonder, you know, maybe they're connected, even though they say this, because keep in mind, Skerrit was saying that Dominica has the most robust due diligence program. So if it has the most robust and thousands of criminals obtain Dominican passports, we have to, you know, we have to take a sidetrack on this right there. Martelli watching from Tampa, Florida. Big up yourself right there. I was in Florida the other day, you know. I was in Florida the other day right there. Anyways, guys, let's continue. Big up the Tampa, Florida massive.
Assessments and they make a recommendation whether that application should be approved or disapproved.
By the way, guys, I pause in this video yet again. Don't forget to click the like button. Click the thumbs up button right there. Of course, that helps push these videos for the audio. I did not share the video, unfortunately. I forget to do so. That was my bad. But you guys can just click the thumbs up button for me right there. And of course, if you want to make a comment, definitely subscribe so you can make a comment in the live chat box as well. I would appreciate that. 150%. There's 33 of you guys in the building right now. Click the thumbs up button for me, please, guys. Click the thumbs up button for me, guys. I don't see the thumbs up button going up. Can you guys just click the thumbs up button for me right now? Come on, fellas. Come on, ladies. Let's do this. Let's make it happen, man. I'm still waiting for you guys to click the thumbs up button, you know. I'm still waiting for you guys to click the thumbs up button, you know. I'm still waiting. Anyways, guys, I don't have much time. You guys will click the thumbs up button when you're ready, I guess. Let's continue.
And everybody who is assigned to that unit must be cleared by the RSS. So they have to go for a polygraph test. And all of those persons in that unit have gone through the test. They've been cleared by the RSS and the GRCC, and they have started working diligently on this. All of this.
Was anybody fired from this? Because it's clear that some people would need to be fired since they were the ones who probably gave these people, the criminals, the passports. I think that would be vital right there.
It's an effort towards the separation of duties, the division of labor, so that you don't have one person having a role to play in all aspects of the process. That everybody will have a specific role to play in this unit and so forth. And this will also enhance our oversight, or enhance our due diligence processes, and it will also enhance our efficiency and effectiveness. And from all reports, it's working on very well thus far, and we'll continue to strengthen these areas. We've also, in March of 2024, we implemented a license.
I don't think that is the case, because December 11th, the European Union sent out a report on the basis of suspension right there, stating that it's still of a large concern that there's a number of passports being sold with very little rejections taking place. So there's still something going on that we can't put our finger on it yet. Okay? Even though the other countries pretty much went NA, Dominica was still selling passports, guys. Still selling passports. We have problems with the corresponding banks. I tell you, it's kind of crazy right there. Al Corps, please hit the like button. Yes, guys, hit the like button, man. I don't know what's going on. It's like people are just watching here. Guys, just click the thumbs up button. It doesn't take much on others. click. I mean, it doesn't take much, man. A number of you guys in the building, 25 of you guys in the building, click the thumbs up button, man.
It's an agreement on code of conduct for authorized agents. Because we believe that's important that everybody follows the law and the regulations.
Really scary.
Everybody has a role to play in this process. Follow the legislation that's been approved by the Parliament. So there are a number of other administrative actions, but these are some of the bigger items that we have implemented, all in efforts towards enhancing the integrity, the transparency, and all of the good governance and practices that are so crucial in this business.
It's true. It's very crucial in this business, and I think you should have started in the very beginning. Otherwise, Dominica and the rest of the Caribbean would not be in that circumstance today. I think the reason why there's a scrutiny on the CBI program from the Caribbean islands or the third world countries is because of Dominica. It is because, you know why I say that, guys? You know why I say this? Because for the very understanding that it was Dominica who got the restrictions for visa-free access to United Kingdom. They stated that they were going to do that to all the other countries, and all the other countries still have access visa-free to European Union and to United Kingdom. And December 11th, that was four days ago, European Union sent out an article on the basis of suspension, stating that there is still a concern due to the low amount of rejections, yet a lot of passports being sold. So if they still have that, United Kingdom rejected Dominica for visa-free access, and European Union is wondering what's going on. So what's Skerrit saying? I have to pull back on it, I have to pull back on it, boss. Kenworth, Charles, blessed, bro. Blessed. Kenworth, I hope you click the thumbs up button, Click the thumbs up button for me, please. Right there. Let's continue.
I think I've answered your question, sir. Okay, and then the issue of how many, obviously, I'll have to research that part of the question.
It seems like Skerrit got the questions before. I'm seeing him reading something and then...
practices that are so crucial in this business.
Or did he write it down?
I think I've answered your question, sir. Okay, and then the issue of how many...
Oh, he probably wrote it down. I see a pen in his hand.
Obviously, I'll have to research that part of the question. But when we reported to Parliament in July of 2024, we would have received, I believe, less than 3,000 applications, approved applications by July. But I do not have, I will not have the figure. I will get the figure from July to now for you. But
it's about 5,000, 9,000. So 2024. So 2023, it's about 9,500 if I'm so correct. And not applications. I think it was passports given. 9,500 if I'm not too far off, but it's over 9,000 for sure. And in 2024, as of June 30th, it was over 5,000 issued passports right there.
But memory serves me, we received less than 3,000
It is 2024 and Skerrit saying receive. So what? I'll get the article.
We do it end of our financial year. So June 30th will be less than 3,000.
June 30th, Skerrit, come on. Guys, can you see this? Okay, you can see this. So I have it right there. This is the article I'm referencing, guys. December 11th. And these are the documents right there. As you can clearly see, this is Dominica, for those who don't mistaken. Dominica. And you can see that the issued total passports issued 34,000 as of 2018 to 2022, 9,500 2023, 5,000. So I'm not sure how Skerrit say 3,000, but 9,484 as of June 30th, 2024. We in December. Okay, Skerrit. So I'm not sure, since you're doing a press conference recently and then talking about 3,000, I don't get that.
Freelance journalist. In October, it was announced that Claire Haber's largest account would be closing in Dominica.
Kudos to this woman right there, brothers and sisters. She was one of the individuals who pretty much asked some really nice questions to Skerrit right there.
Which coincidentally today...
Claraline. First time I'm hearing a name like that. Claraline. Interesting. Claraline Warrington, big up yourself. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to you as well. Hopefully you like you click the thumbs up button in that regard. Okay. 30 of you guys in the building, 14 likes. Click the thumbs up button to the individuals who are here already. Let's continue.
It marks the final day for several employees. Has your government engaged with Clear Harbor's management team to find out what is the next step? Also, as Prime Minister of the country, for several employees who are now, well, former employees who are now facing unemployment as we enter into the new year, what would be your message for them? Should I continue?
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, we intend to meet with all of the people who would have been temporarily terminated at Clear Harbor, and we'll have this engagement immediately after Christmas to see how we can work with them to assist them during the gap of their re-engagement. Now, as you know, Clear Harbor has a number of clients.
They do. Guys, I want you guys to listen carefully to what Skerrit is saying right there.
And every employee has to be employed distinctively by those clients.
True.
So not everybody Clear Harbor clients. The different contract that they have, and for them to be able to monitor what's happening, they want their staff to be separate and independent of each other. So while they have lost, and it's an ongoing business, and of course they have lost this client, not because
he's gonna say AI
of what Clear Harbor is not doing. And Clear Harbor has done a fantastic job in providing services to our international clients. They have lost this portfolio because of artificial intelligence, and this is how dangerous artificial intelligence is.
Okay, you said artificial intelligence. Okay, they have lost these clients to artificial intelligence.
And so that client decided they're going to move more into the use of artificial intelligence, and so as a result of that, Clear Harbor lost this portfolio. When I spoke to the vice president, the president of Clear Harbor, they indicated to me that they had already secured a new client for 150 seats. So 150 people will be needed, and there were negotiations with 3 other companies who will be able to provide them with additional seats, so that those persons who lost their jobs from Clear Harbor, based on what Clear Harbor has said to me, that you will see that they'll be started to be re-engaged. So they had to make them redundant because they're working for this particular company. So this is why you will hear people say temporary redundancy, because the plan by Clear Harbor is that those persons will be re-engaged with those new clients coming in. So you already have 150 seats based on what Clear Harbor is saying to me. I'm basically reporting, and there's 3 more companies, and so they believe, what Mr. Edwards said to me, that they believe that with this 1 + 3, 4 clients, they'll be able to reabsorb everybody who would have been made temporarily redundant because of the loss of that particular client.
So they lose 1 client and they're about to get 4 clients, and then the 140 or 150 people will be able to be reinstated, Skerrit? So they lost 1, they're about to gain 4, and that one was 150. That 150 is gonna be put in 4. Skerrit, you sure you understand what these people were saying? Or were they kind of like when you said that Ross University had 6 clients looking at the facility? I know one of the clients was indeed Clear Harbor for sure. So it's not that you may not have been speaking the truth. I don't know about the 6. I know about 1. We know about the Indian school that came and tried to do something, and it seems like you wanted more money from them, and they decided, hey, there's not much for us. There's not much benefit in that regard for us. So that's another story right there. But when you claim that there were 6 clients, I still have to be mindful of what you say in Skerrit. You know why? Because you know somebody based on the actions that they have done before. Now, people can change, true, especially when pressure has been mounted on them. People can change. But then you're talking about 1 client, and then they get in 4, and that 150 would go into the 4. Or maybe me that don't understand it, guys. Help me understand it right there. Auto718, so to date, you sold more passports than people living on the island. So you believe that there's more than 34,000, 50,000 actually. Yeah, that makes sense. What is going on here? Okay, yeah. 50,000. I think there's 50,000 people, but you know, the people don't come to Dominica. They don't come to Dominica, which is mind-boggling to me. In the United States also does CBI program in their format. However, you have to be in the country. You can't just say you sending money for America citizen green card and think you're just going to stay overseas. No. Even the people that get American green card for quote-unquote free, they have to come to the country and stay. And they have to stay there for 5 years. Maybe they can go for a month or something, but they have to come back and stay there for 5 years before they are able to apply for citizenship. No, it's interesting to find out that Dominica from before. I remember when Dennis Charles was talking about changing names, and Dennis Charles was talking about, oh, they do something for, I think it was for 5 years. After 5 years, they can change their name.
So come January, you'll see people starting to re-engage and so on. But obviously, these are young people. They have their little loans, they have their little facilities, they have children going to school, and we will play our part to see how we can support them during that period of time.
So what if that doesn't happen, Skerrit? That's a question I would have asked. What if that doesn't happen? What if all 4 clients that you were talking about right there fell through? What if all fell through? What could Dominica possibly do to help these people? What? What, Skerrit? What have you done to create employment in Dominica? That's the big question right there. What have you done?
We intend to meet with them and to hear from them as to how they believe that the government can best support them during that period of time.
By giving them jobs, creating jobs in the economy, which you have not done. So how on earth can you support them? Are you gonna be giving them a stipend? Are you gonna do like Trump did during the whole Rona situation and give the people stimulus? Well, the people in Dominica didn't even get stimulus after you guys shut down the country under emergency authorization. You didn't give people a stimulus. You think you're just going to randomly give these people stimulus and then you say you're going to engage them to see how the government can help them? Really? Somebody should have asked that question right there.
Okay, so my next question is on the cost.
Paying your bills on time raises your credit score, right? Wrong. In fact, this is one of the
It's on the cost of living. Presently, during the 2024-2025 budget address, the Minister of Finance announced the formation of a public-private sector committee tasked with reviewing the prices of goods and service in Dominica, examining the economic and social issues, and making recommendations to foster a more investment-friendly environment. So I would like to find out, Prime Minister, it was announced, that this committee would also review the minimum wage here in Dominica. So where are we as it pertains to the formation of this
Good question right there.
committee? And as we move into the new year, we hear from a lot of Dominicans that the cost of living is getting too high. So what can we expect to bring some sort of economic relief for us?
Good question right there to this girl, to this lady. Auto 718, if you bought a passport, can you vote in the general elections? Yes, you can vote. A passport signifies that you are a citizen. This is why on the passport you see CARICOM citizen. You can vote if you buy a passport today and you get the passport tomorrow, you can vote tomorrow after you get the passport.
Well, if you don't mind, I will answer the second part of your question first, on the issue of cost of living. One will appreciate that it's a global phenomenon.
They didn't ask you that, sir. They didn't ask you that. And global phenomenon, there are prices going on all over the place. Why is it going up in Dominica? Why are fees going up in Dominica? Why is electricity going up? The cost of living is going up. So when you claim it's a global phenomenon and other countries' prices are going down, there's a question I have to ask. Which world are you talking about? Are you just referencing the countries where it actually going up? Because you cannot say it's a worldwide thing when some countries have prices that are going down. Why is it like this? For example, the bus fare. The bus fare was $8, brothers and sisters, from Portsmouth to Roseau. Now, other people are not getting salary increases. Bus drivers got increased because due to gas prices going up. Gas prices went down. I think it's $13 or $14 now. It was $16, $17. It was around that region. So they put up bus prices. Great. Gas prices, they need gas for them to go up and down. Gas prices go down. Why is the bus fare still the same? I don't get it. Why is it still the same? So next time there's another issue and then it's $10 now and they're going to complain, oh my goodness, things are high. So are we going to put the bus prices to $12.50? Is it going to go up? And then when gas prices come back down, it's going to stay the same $12.50? That's something I find very interesting right there.
Every single country in the world is experiencing an increase in cost of living. Every single country.
That's false.
From the G7 countries to the poorest country
That's
in the world.
false.
You have seen governments have, even if you look at the election campaign in the United States, Ms. Harris indicated that she was going to move to the issue of price control. Price control is important.
Price control in the United States in a capitalistic society is a death towards the capital. That's death to capitalism. Price control in a capitalistic society is death. However, in Dominica, people are abusing the power of just raising prices. To the fact, I must make mention of something. So one of my family members came down to Dominica and they bought a soap. That soap was free something dollars, brothers and sisters. I went the other day to look for the soap. You know how much the soap is? $10. The very same soap. When I told her the price, she said, "What? I bought it for free something." I tell her, no, it's actually $10 for it. In other places, it was $3. It's $7.80. It's $7.80. In other places, it's $8 something. And where I actually had the amount that I had to get was $10. Yes, brothers and sisters, $10 coming all the way from $3 and something cents. So come on, let's be real here.
Fit to have in an open economy. Once you have an open economy, it's difficult to have price control on every single item. So it's very difficult to do this. And she had to retract it. The government of the United Kingdom,
she didn't retract it. That's what she was going to do. And that would have been the death of the United States economy. Price control. Because in certain states, things are different from the other places. You cannot have price control and say, okay, this is the amount you have to. $3 all across all across the United States. When there are different standard of living in different states. That would have created chaos in the place. Especially when, you know, if you have to rent. If you're a part of a store and your price is $3 and the standard of living is low, then that's fine. But if you have a standard of living like California, where the standard of living is very high, very, very high, brothers and sisters. Some of the shacks you see on this side of the road is $1 million in California. I'm telling you, I know you know. So this cost of living is very high in California. You telling me that you want price control that's going to be the same $3? Come on.
When this current government came in, they were looking at the issue of price control. They had to backtrack on this because it's not going to work.
Dominica needs price control because Dominica is one country, one little small country, and the adaptation of what takes place in that little country would pretty much affect the whole island. That's what you need, price control in Dominica. You cannot have price control in the United States. And you cannot use that as an example because that would have killed the capitalism society in the United States.
So you have, this is a global...
I am an economist, you know, guys. I know these things.
You have an issue, and of course, coming from COVID, with the supply chain situation being affected, plus you have the Russia-Ukraine situation and the situation in the Middle East. All of this add to the uncertainty in the world. All of this add to
So who's causing it? Who's creating these things? The very people themselves. Look, for example, I just found out recently that even in North Carolina, that the people are still trying to get assistance. They're still trying to get aid. They're still trying to get help. In North Carolina, the individuals who were affected by the hurricane. Yet still, the United States, well, not the United States, the leaders who are president of the United States are still trying to send $50 billion to Ukraine. $50 billion. It is recently found out that the wife of Zelensky has bought one of the most expensive cars. They have been buying expensive things. One of the things that is elevating in Ukraine right now is nightclubs. And nightclubs that are running expensive. So you mean to tell me sending... Anyways, that's a whole different topic right there. So let me leave that alone right there. MFA Scully from Calibishi, Wooty, Wesley, and Marigot to Roseau is $12.50. $12.50 for what? $12.50 for the soap now? Is that you talking about now? Oh, $12.50. Oh, you're talking about bus fare. Okay, I get you. How much was it before? Scully, how much was the bus fare before?
Increasing in the cost of goods and accessing those goods and so on. So it's a global challenge.
It's not.
We can only hope and pray that we can see a cessation of these conflicts so that the world can focus on more important things, such as the cost of living, and to see how we can have more production in, how we can reduce the cost of producing goods and services. Then you have the issue of climate change. I've said so many times that the advent of climate change has caused insurance to go up dramatically.
Climate change is YouTube.
And with insecurities in the world, where ships are passing certain parts of the world, and you have to increase your insurance because of a threat of a pirate taking over the ship. All of these things add to the cost of living.
The price stuff is true.
Cost of goods on the shelves. So there is really a compounding of challenges that is pressing the cost of living button. And it's a challenge, and what we have to do, luckily for us, I mean, we have more of our own production where food is concerned. But
we are importing a lot of food that we can actually produce in Dominica. We are importing a lot of food. I've heard farmers complaining that the tomatoes are not being sold, and they have hundreds, even thousands of tomatoes just rotting there. So let us not act as if we are focused mainly on the local farmers. Let's not do this thing right there.
It's a challenge. You go to the United States and you see how dramatically this is not going to give. It can't be a recurrent situation. Challenge. Percent which will be high. See who has the best prices.
I tend to go to the next
Chris
question.
Badwell from DBS Radio. An announcement was made recently that Benoit Badwell, who has served as CEO of DASPA for many years, Benoit Badwell would become an ambassador for Dominica. Is that already in place? And talking about Benoit Badwell, another announcement was made sometime in August of this year that stevedores and longshoremen of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority who were involved in an impasse for well over 24 years, that compensation would be made available to these stevedores and longshoremen. I've checked with the union to find out whether, in fact, monies have been disbursed to the union for these employees. I was told no. Can you bring us up to date? Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, as I announced, Mr. Badwell would have been engaged as would be appointed as ambassador and also be engaged as an advisor to the Prime Minister and government on a number of issues. I will meet with Mr. Badwell on Monday, so that
once he's ambassador of the advisor to the Prime Minister. Once he's advisor to the Prime Minister, I've heard that all the individuals who contested the election who lost are also advisors to the Prime Minister. So they get a pretty penny when it comes down to that, to be advisors of the Prime Minister right there.
We can welcome him to the office of the Prime Minister. So that's in trade. His engagement will have started. He was out for a few days. He's back, and so he's fine. You're correct. I believe the agreement was $4 million, and we came to a conclusion between the DASPA and the longshoremen, stablemen, settlement, well, not a settlement, but an agreement on $4 million that would bring an end to this long outstanding impasse between the two entities. Now, as you know, I use my good offices to negotiate a settlement between the two, recognizing that this is a legal issue, and I didn't want to appear to be interfering, but with the concurrence of both entities, I was allowed to negotiate, and it came to a conclusion of $4 million. DASPA was authorized to borrow those funds from the National Bank. The National Bank approved the loan of $4 million for DASPA because we wanted to give the civil men one check, recognizing that there's many senior citizens, many senior men who are retired and waiting for this. So instead of paying them in tranches, as was initially agreed, so to give them one check. So that money is available. Unfortunately, we had to utilize the funds temporarily. Not utilize the money, but you utilize the commitment of $4 million. We go to Parliament on Monday, and one of the resolutions will free up that monies from DASPA. So, all things considered, by Wednesday morning next week, the Stevie Lomen should have a check from DASPA.
Guys, be mindful of Monday. Be mindful of Monday, man. I'm telling you guys, Dominica is on the verge of losing its freedom. I myself talk, I talk. Okay. I talk. Let me see what you guys are saying right there. Oh, for bus, yes. $10 for adults and $5 for kids. Now it's $12.50. Like I indicated before, why is the price still high? I don't get it. Gas prices have gone down tremendously. It was $15 from the last time I checked. Now it went down to $13 and $14. Or it's not, probably $13 right now. It used to be $10 and it used to be $6, $7, you know. I think after, I can't remember when, but normally it was around $10, $11, maybe $12. It's 13 something right there. Auto 718. This is unfair to the local born and raised on the island, it's going to be more difficult to obtain American visa because they're going to investigate more background checks for approval. Well, it is definitely unfair to the locals, especially people who have been grinding in Dominica, trying their best to make it, and people from overseas who have better opportunities than obtain Dominica passports and are able to come and change this scope to their advantage. That's how it works, brothers and sisters, when you have these passports and people can just come down and vote. Thankfully, these people don't really care about coming to Dominica or even voting in elections. Some do. Actually know some individuals from Sweden who came down to Dominica and organizing themselves. They are part of the CBI as well. There are some other folks that I found that they don't know either I know that they got their CBI stuff right there. So there are a number of persons who will come to Dominica, and if they want to vote, they can vote. I don't think they care much about voting. Those I know don't really care about voting at all, but if they want to, they can, and that can then affect, Diane Charles, so nowhere needs price control, so their businesses will just look to cut costs by bringing in cheaper quality goods. That's fine. If they want to bring cheaper quality goods, and I get your sentiment, if you have price control, this is it. And we normally a customer buying this quality product, we're going to look to buy cheaper products so we can gain a little profit from that. I get that point right there when it comes down to price control. But the problem in Dominica is you're not having these things right there. People going far beyond. Like I get about the soap. It was free something, now it's $10 now. It's $8, $7, $80 to $10 for something that costs. Have a price control. Say, okay, we're making it at $5. You look at the average of what is taking place. You put it at the middle, and then you have competition. So if everybody's selling a thing at $5, obviously people gravitate to the place that is closer to them. However, if people are selling it at $4.50, it's still above the $3.50. But some people are selling it at $4.50. Some people would rather take the drive, or they rather take the walk and go to a different store to buy it. If you're closer to the store that's selling $5, then that can also create some level of competition because you are closer to the clients. But some people want to go somewhere else to get it cheaper, which of course elevates both businesses.
Once Parliament approves of this resolution before the House, then the check will be made available to them. But the money is there. It's in National Bank. It has not been used. It's not that we have an instrument against it, but it has not been used. So the money is in the bank, and by Wednesday, God willing, they should be able to get that check given to them, so they can start giving checks.
Yeah, that becomes a vexing issue.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to Parliament on Monday for the first reading, but the opposition claims that you have, quote and unquote, hijacked the system and not giving the population proper electoral reform. How do you answer to that? The other question...
I already know what Skerrit can answer that. He said we have looked at the different things from people and compiled it together to see what works best for everybody. That's what he's going to say.
Is that the issues of the chief elections officer, the Electoral Commission wrote to Cabinet seeking an extension of the hold of the post for 2 years to further assist them with the electoral reform process, and that was not accepted. We want to know why, and who is the new person acting, or who is the new acting chief elections officer, and was the individual properly vetted for that position?
The vetting of people to do anything with Skerrit, brothers and sisters, is whether you are for Skerrit or against Skerrit. That is the vetting. If you are for Skerrit, you get the job. Simple. True or false? Let me know if I lie.
It's a heavy question there. All right, I'll take the second question first. The chief election officer is a creature of the Constitution, and that position is insulated from the executive. And if you're to make any changes to that position, you must go to Parliament to amend the law to treat with the chief election officer. So, a couple of things. If there's a salary increase for the public servants, it is not automatic that the chief election officer gets it. You'll have to get Parliament to approve an increase in salary, separate and distinct from the rest of the public service. Now, the law makes provision for the retirement age to be 55. Though there has been movement in the rest of the public service on increasing...
So why is it 62? Or is it 65?
Retirement age. The law has not been changed for chief election officer. So the chief election officer, the person who was appointed in a position, he achieved the age of 55. But he will be chosen to retire at 60, so he has to now find a new position. It's not an abnormal thing that I've done for many other people in the past. So I don't want anybody to think that it's the first time that happened. No, it happened to Miss Williams, and it happened to Mr. Larrock, happened to some other person in my time. So we had no objection in increasing the age of retirement to 60. As a matter of fact, we will make a change to 60. But at the time he was getting to 23, first of all, I believe the commission took too long to write me formally on this. We were not going to Parliament. And even if we had no objection to it, we could not have kept him there because we would be in violation of the law. So when September 24th came, he had to be placed in a position of lateral position within the public service. And I believe that he is now at the position of SAO in one of the ministries and so forth. So this is the situation in regards to his position. What the commission has discussed with me, and subsequently they wrote, is that whether we can use the knowledge of the gentleman who held the post of Chief Electoral Officer to assist them in implementing the electoral reform. In principle, we have no objection to this. What I have asked the Secretary of the Cabinet to do is to write to the commission to ask them to submit to us terms of references for his engagement, because we have to be careful that we don't have a Chief Election Officer, which is a constitutional position, and you're sending someone to help coordinate, and that person might be taking out functions and duties of the Chief Election Officer. So they have to ensure that there are clear delineations of responsibilities and it does not impede on the role of Chief Election Officer. So once we receive that from the Chief Election Officer, the Electoral Commission, then I believe the Cabinet will be minded to approve for...
By the way, guys, who elects the election commissioner? Who elects these people? Are the people the one electing these people to do things on their bidding, or is the government the one doing this thing? Who elects them? That's a good question right there, because if you're trying to have free and fair elections that will reflect the will of the people, but that person is not elected on the basis of the will of the people, but of the will of the government, or on the will of the caretakers of the government, so to speak, then that commissioner is not going to reflect the will of the people. Even though that is his role, he should be reflecting the will of the people. That's an interesting dilemma right there.
For a special assignment as coordinator of electoral reform project, so that the commission can have access to the knowledge and the skills of the former Chief Election Officer. So this is where we are with regards to that situation. Then the issue of who is the current Chief Election Officer, that person is Miss Anthea Joseph, who has a long history in the public service, and all of the processes articulated by the Constitution will satisfied, and that person has been duly placed in the position of Chief Election Officer. Some of the time I answer a question too long, so I'm trying to see whether I can shorten it. But I explain to some people, sometimes the question requires some explanation, because there's so much misinformation in the public, so I try to see, where do I position myself? So I hope I did better today.
You use the main misinformation of the public way. You. Is either you misinforming the people, or you just leaving the people clueless about what is going on. Then in the middle you come in and say you are transparent government. Really? Skerrit, come on. Let me see what you guys are saying right there. Diane, people gravitate to where they does get credit. I guess you're saying people gravitate to where they tend to get credit. Please, rough. Well, mindful of who you're giving credit to. If you cannot give credit to the very government, why then would you give credit to people? I don't get it. Maybe the people are better paymasters, so to speak. Because if the government cannot pay the LPUs, or not necessarily cannot pay, but they don't pay the LPUs on a timely manner, then what would that mean for the people of the country? I think that is crazy right there. Auto 718, they should stamp the letters CBI on those passports. Yeah. But they wouldn't do that because they don't want to make it seem, or you're different from different people. Because there was even to the point where individuals, when they got passports, Dominica passports, they could change their name. So in other words, if my name is Al-Qaeda, right? And I'm a customer doing craziness in my country or illustrating different things across the world, obviously you are on the watch list. as this person. However, when you get a Dominican passport, they can change your name to Mary John or John Mary. They put your name to John Mary. They put your face, everything like that. You get accredited for that because you change your name. You in that country as that, but you have a passport where you travel as John Mary. This is why they started to use the facial recognition right now. Because not just in your name. They're actually looking at your face, your facial features. So if they associate your facial features and you have two different names, they already know who you are. That's one of the reasons why they went into facial thing. You guys understand what is going on in the world? Okay, I just included you guys right there. Jerry Nelson, I'm late for class, but I'm here. Big up yourself, Jerry Nelson. One time, Skerrit, you are a born liar. Yeah, I think Skerrit likes to say a lot of things right there that don't seem to add up to reality. Let me get another question.
Oh, they do not want it. Well, I can say, and what people say, they do not want electoral reform.
Yeah, people want electoral reform, Skerrit. They do not want your electoral reform. People want electoral reform that will reflect the will of the people, not your will. But then you come in and make it seem like people don't want electoral reform when you are pushing your electoral reform on people. There's a huge difference. They came together and they wrote up the stipulations on what proper electoral reform would have been done. All you have to do is take that, look at it, and pass it because that's what the people want. No, you want to go and meet with the Attorney General and make your own electoral reform. It's interesting how that goes.
They do not want it. Because electoral, crying foul at an election for a party that has been in government for so long is an easy thing to do. So they would like to have that.
Yeah, but you have to know why the party is in government for so long. Has the government doing bribery? Has the government doing treating? Has the government been using the old laws for his advantage? What exactly keeps that government there for so long? Has the government been advised by his closest confidants that if they were to do proper electoral reform, that it will ruin the election legacy, the re-election legacy, and I quote, would that be the case?
They do not want it. They do not want it because they have not been able to tell the country, look, I have read the bills. I do not agree with Section 1A, but I do not agree with Clause 2B, and I would suggest that we change Clause 2B to this. This is how you engage in discussion.
But they have already wrote out the clauses, Skerrit. You don't like it. In fact, you paid a man $750,000 to do electoral reform. He wrote it. He took a little time. You still call elections, but he wrote it. He gave it to you. Then you say you don't like it. That happened previously before. Or electoral reforms thing were wrote out and you did not like it. Well, no, I think you wrote it and the people didn't like it and they rejected it because it was not on the basis of freedom and fairness. You hired a man under the public's purse and you still rejected that. Then you come in and say people don't want it when you bring your own to parliament. When you try to bring your own to parliament. Really? Is that how it works? And you talk about misinformation by saying that the people don't want it without actually bringing in the actual facts that people don't want your electoral reform. Really?
But to say that, oh, no electoral reform, we can't go to parliament, it's lost, we're going to stop it, and no, you do not want it.
Skerrit, people don't want your electoral reform. That is what they don't want. Because obviously, you know, if you give proper electoral reform, next election you will definitely lose. You know that. Your people advise you and tell you the same thing too.
And as the Attorney General quite rightly articulated on the news today, this is the only government in the history of Dominic, since the attainment of political independence, who has done anything in regards to electoral reform. And had we been allowed to proceed with electoral reform,
Skerrit, you don't lie. Huh? Antigua didn't just check the electoral thing the other day there, where they clear the voters list and this kind of things there. Didn't they do this? A number of countries, I even think St. Martin also did that as well, if I'm not mistaken. A number of countries have been doing this misinformation, Skerrit. Boy, you see you, boy, you see you. You saying that because you know a lot of people are ignorant. You saying that because you know a lot of people are ignorant, so you can just spew things on them and they'll say, oh, what he's saying is true, but they don't know. That is the problem that I have with Dominicans. A lot of ignorance is taking place.
We would have had these laws on the books since 2016.
Lie. Lie that. You have been killing time so that you could allow yourself to get to where you are today. Skerrit, you must stop tell lie.
Because the reality is when you...
So Jerry Nelson, you are very much right when you say Skerrit, you is a born liar. I don't know if he was born a liar, but he lying now.
Read what Student suggested, and when you read what we were taken to Parliament, they're not dramatically different. You know?
So why you did... Skerrit. You... Skerrit, so why you reject the man proposal for? Why you reject it for? You paid the man $750,000 and you don't want it, and you say it's not too far-fetched. No, like I indicated before, Skerrit going to say he want to do on both sides, you know. But he's not going to put the consequence. I actually had a conversation a few days ago in Dominica on that sentiment right there. That you say, okay, we want voter ID cards. Okay, we want voters. Okay, we want voter ID cards. We want to utilize the media, the government medias or whatever. Okay? He say, sure. But the stipulation that they want to put is, if we don't do this, there should be consequences. So he might say, okay, yes, utilize the government media. When time comes for elections, no utilization of government media. None. And if they don't do this, there's no consequence written in law. So if there's no consequence written in law, then he can just tell the people not to give them the ability to use it. Not to. In fact, last election that happened, the sham election that passed there, Skerrit gave people the permission. He was the one who gave people the permission to use government-run media. Him. Not the people, you know, who is truly the government. Him. Because I have 10 more minutes here.
They're not dramatically different. So always say, look, we're going to go to Parliament for the first reading of this thing. If there you have some concerns or reviews and so on, you could, even when the I believe it's Bar Association wrote, you know, to the kind of letter, but it's a letter nonetheless, I sent it to the Attorney General. And I said, agent, go for it. See whether they have some things in there that can be of use. When the commission wrote to the Attorney, wrote to us, drawing attention to their observations, the AG wrote back to them asking for further clarification, so we are engaging in a discussion. And so we cannot continue to have consultations in perpetuity, forever.
Skerrit, the people want what they want. They don't want what you want to give them. How on earth are you? How are you talking about we? How is we? You think a sitting prime minister don't want to lose elections would give the people free and fair elections? Really? Somebody has gamed the system, especially knowing that there's bribery and cheating that has happened. Knowing these things has happened. If you put in electoral reform and say no bribery and cheating, and then you specify on the bribery and cheating, if you do these things and you put that in law, they cannot do it again. So you think they're using these things, they will put that to stop them from getting back in power? Really? I mean, come on, let's wake up.
It must come to an end at some point. No law is perfect. That's why you go to Parliament every so often to amend laws. As a matter of fact, I believe the next big project the government should take on, the country should take on, is constitutional reform. Because there are a number of things that the draft of the constitution did not envisage at the time, but times have changed. And therefore we have now to bring our constitution
want to change the constitution
to a state of modernity, of greater relevance. And there are a number of things that we have picked up in the constitution.
You're in trouble in that Dominican area. Are you in trouble with
functional things that we will need to amend. And I'm saying that we need to start with this with Dr. Liverpool report and the Telford Judges report. Let's start, because we don't have to go and rewrite all this stuff. Because what Telford Judges, Mr. Telford Judges wrote back then, and Dr. Liverpool, were exceptional documents. But events never allowed us to go for it. And I think that this is the next project that the country should take on. So the issue of the item of hijacking, no, the government believes that we should go to the Parliament and give the Electoral Commission enough time to implement this.
The very electorally from that side of you, Skerrit. So you present your thing, you make the Attorney General go and do your thing. Well, let's have discussion, but your agenda still runs through because it's passing through the Attorney General. And keep in mind, the President too is at hand, you know. So just in case, if they find a little squabble, they can go to the President can then approve it. Because the president is not Dominica's president. She's Skerrit's president, just like Charles Savary was. You see how deep this thing runs? You don't get it yet? Okay.
What the opposition would want to have is for there to be an election with no electoral reform taking place.
That is false. That is 100% false. One of the things the opposition has been pushing is electoral reform, proper electoral reform. There have been meetings upon meetings. People say, talk. They write it down. I reacted to it, stating what they wanted exactly and what measures would need to be taken, and it makes sense. The only thing I did not see or hear in that is that I think if they want the people from overseas who are Dominicans or associated to Dominica to vote, I think they should put 2 constituencies, additional constituencies. I always thought of it as 1, but Rosie Douglas made sense for the 2 of them. So the people outside can vote in these 2 constituencies. Whether it's in north of the world or the south of the world. If you are south of the world, you vote in number 2. If you're north of the world, you vote in number 1. So it doesn't affect the other 21 constituencies of the people living in Dominica. That is the thing that makes sense. Either that, or you tell the people if you're outside of Dominica for more than 5 years, you don't vote. And if you have to vote, you have to come and stay at least a year in Dominica before you vote. At least so you get to understand people saying overseas and wondering if everything is fine and dandy in Dominica. This is why they tend to create when... Guys, I'm going to end this right... Let me see if there's another... Okay, guys, let me just continue for a little bit. 6 more minutes. All right.
Dominica. And they will stand. So I'm saying, Mr. Prime Minister, are you satisfied that the bills you are bringing before Parliament at this time represent the views of the people of Dominica, and the bills are representing, as it relates to giving people bills that are equal, that present a level playing field?
Sure. Yeah. No, if I were to say you were just even hosting a talk show. Yes. What are the specific points which the people who you spoke to in this talk show, the 2 people who you spoke to in the talk show,
2 people, sir?
2 of them you were there. 2, I think, Loftus Duran and
No, I'm talking about the general people.
Yeah, who else? I mean,
many people, sir.
Yeah, but what are the points they raised, or specific points, and which bills did they raise the issue with? Because there are 3 bills before the Parliament.
Let me at least point 2.
Yeah, point
2. In terms of registration of voters and persons flying in from overseas to vote in Dominica. Yeah. These are 2 of the main issues that they represented.
And voter ID cards, sir.
Well, the issue of...
And they're basically saying you want these bills to protect your legacy.
Yes, that's facts.
Most people have no clue that in 2024, the best way to make money with Amazon is not with...
Protect what legacy?
You know what they're talking about, Skerrit. You know. Tony Astafans wrote you a letter. Send these same statements to protect your re-election legacy. Skerrit, come on. You want to act as if you don't know? Really?
Look at saying you want these bills to protect your legacy.
Listen to that.
Protect what legacy?
To remain in power.
My only legacy is legacy of service.
And you were the richest prime minister, or I'll let you be the richest prime minister in the Caribbean. Service? Really? Okay.
People, that's what I'm that's the service.
His supporters clapping. Oh, okay.
People who know me, I'm not a celebrity person and so on.
Really? But you're building a mansion bigger than the previous 2 mansions you
so I don't pay.
Boy, use 1 kicks off, fella, eh?
The legacy. The issue of registration. Now, you have a process of confirmation, and you'll have a period within which you can avail yourself to be confirmed. After that period is over, then that is the list that one will use once you give yourself an opportunity to be confirmed. Now, persons who are living overseas, for them to remain on the voters list, they'll have to fly to Dominica to be confirmed. Because remember, originally, we were going the route of St. Kitts and Nevis, where they went to major capitals around the world where Kittitians and Nevisians were resident, and avail the opportunity to give them the opportunity to have themselves confirmed. The opposition in Dominica was opposed to that, though the government was in favor of going the St. Kitts route, in an effort towards giving and taking.
Because you know overseas is where you get your break. Just like Thompson Fountain's constituency. He would have won, but there were a number of overseas voters that tilted scale 1 and 2. There is historic evidence of what they call rejected ballots that took place. Because during the history of elections, only 1 or 2, maybe 5 rejected ballots. But in this time when he was there, 21 ballots got rejected. Thus tilting the scale to favor you as a result of the overseas voters. So you know the value of the overseas voters. We all know that you know the value of the overseas voters. So obviously you find different ways and means to do it. Skerrit, come on.
We decided, okay, we will scrap the notion of the Electoral Commission going to capitals where Dominicans, large constitutional Dominicans are. And if they want to remain on the voters list, they have to come to Dominica. So we have done that. So,
how long do they have to stay in Dominica for them to register? Do they fly to Dominica on vacation and they say they can register, that's it? Or they have to stay for a number of days and they have to prove the amount of days that they've stayed in Dominica? Is that the case? I mean, that is a step towards the right direction, true. But I still believe that these people should not even come to Dominica. They feel like they are Dominicans, they are born in Dominica, they should have the right to vote. Great. Give them to constituencies so they can vote in. So it would not affect the rest of the 21 constituencies. Because if the rest of the 21 constituencies of individuals living in Dominica say, you know what? We feel like we need to have a change because we live in the country, we feel in the blows of Skerrit and we want to have a change. I think that would actually help. Don't you think so?
Now, people want to make the argument about registration. So you also have to look at the issue of the constitutionality of what people are recommending. I'm not going to go into the technical details today because that's not what for today. And so the idea of flying people to vote there in Dominica, I don't see where that has to do with any of the bills before the parliament.
But that's what you do. Isn't it true? Or maybe that's what your people do. Maybe not you. Because every time during the election times, we see a lot of planes coming in. We see boatloads of people coming in to Dominica. That doesn't happen on a regular basis. Remember the 7 aircrafts, chartered planes that we saw in Dominica during the election time? Remember? Remember the influx of people that were coming to Dominica? Videos of it. Of people flying to Dominica, say they're getting free ticket to come to Dominica for them to vote. Election time. I mean, come on, Skerrit. You want to pray as if these things don't happen?
None. And elections are not won by legislation. Elections are won by how you treat people and how you relate to people. And
or you thief elections. It could be that. It could be that too.
That's it. And so
this is the coolest innovation of our lifetime. The world's first titanium nonstick pan. It's gonna blow your...
Guys, we see
for yourself. And you can't
from Skerrit, man.
count for it.
Yo. Anyways, let's look at the next question.
Oh, I go given to liberals. You accuse me of being soft. No, I don't agree. I mean, I'm
so you're one of the listeners. Thank you.
In-depth evaluation of the rates, and if neither media, I know following the announcement by the water increase by the WASCO earlier this year, during a press conference with the media, you stated that your government would conduct an in-depth evaluation of the rates, and if neither after that evaluation, you would see whether there was a need to verify that increase or go forward with that increase. This month marked the 6 months process, so has your government conducted this evaluation?
Of course not. But they're gonna say we are working on it.
And are you continuing to go through next year with this price increase? I know government released or purchased a generator for Domlake, and we see that load shedding has returned, and of course we see the comments on social media what citizens.
I like you. Finally somebody bring in a little, but I think you need to also do some follow-up. It's not just him saying, you're asking some nice questions, you know, but you're not following up on the statements that he has made.
Are concerned about that. As the majority shareholder, can you provide us an update with what you're hearing from Domlake? Because I will admit, from the media standpoint, well, where I sit, we're not hearing an update from Domlake. So can you provide us with an update? In regards to housing, government has provided numerous housing throughout the years. Prime Minister, what about ownership for the housing? This has
3 minutes, boy. Oh my God.
Been an issue that has been discussed. I know you also stated the plans to construct housing in the Warner area for young professionals as well as the private public sector. Can you provide us an update with this housing in the Warner area as well?
Okay. Now, on regards to the rates of the WASCO, I think the government agrees.
You think?
With the public view that the method used should be reviewed, and we should go the route of our consumption.
So in other words, they have not done it. She mentioned that for 6 months it has been going on, and Skerrit is saying that it has to be reviewed. So that has not been reviewed yet.
Rate, rather than based on your company size, your return. And we agree that this is a more equitable route to go. So in the new year, there'll be a review, a new rate implemented that will be consumption based rather than based on the size of your business. Because as I understand it, your company might be large, but you only have one small sink at your business. So people are raising issues about that. So I don't think people are
made no sense.
opposed based on what they've said to me, and I'm hearing that they're opposed to a rate increase, because the reality is people are paying much less for water than it is costing Duasco to bring water to your homes and to your businesses.
As they should, because they don't want to be paying more for the same amount of consumption. So therefore they try to use less. This is why a lot of people are now going to the source to get water. So instead of consuming water, they are going to rivers, I don't know rivers, but they're going to source areas for them to collect water. I noticed the increase, I go to the source as well to collect water because I do not trust the water in the tap. I do not trust it at all. We tested that water, it had chlorine and all kind of thing inside there. I do not trust the water. Back in the day or sometimes in the night, you can literally taste the difference. The water in the day is totally different from the water in the night. Don't ask me how. That's what I just feel. Not feel, that's what I know right there. You guys can test out that theory for yourself if you want to right there.
So the government is highly subsidizing Duasco. I can recall in 1 year, I gave that. So I believe in New Year you will see. I'm sure in New Year originally we were going the route of consumption, but all in effort was how can we minimize the impact on the consumer. This is how we.
Skerrit, that's a lie. How you be trying to minimize the impact on the consumer and you giving more fees to the consumer? What kind of wash are you in? Boy, let me continue, guys.
It is not an equitable, and I think everybody will be okay. Housing ownership, as you know,
the housing ownership.
Going through the process of registering, of surveying and registering all of those homes that we're given is a huge task. And with limited surveyors in the government system, you always have a challenge because you give somebody a home, then you have to ensure that all of these lots are surveyed. So even in the apartments, you have to survey the lot because you're going through the strata titles, and there are considerations there. I'm looking at, and some matter I'll be discussing with the Attorney General for the Union, that we may have to go to Parliament, in my view, with a special piece of legislation that will help address the issue of registering homes that the government has granted to people, especially persons who we have had to relocate on humanitarian and safety grounds, so that we truncate the process and we also eliminate the cost of the process. And so that's something,
guys,
we'll be
guys,
looking at.
my time run out there, but I just waiting for me to just get the shout, and yeah, I rolling out. So anytime that might just cut off, guys. So please, if you have not done so, click the thumbs up button and of course subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations when they tend to come through. Of course, I have the latest vlog on top. It's pinned to the live chat. So if you want to check this out after, definitely do so.
Right. And to go with a special piece of, I believe that we need to have a special piece of legislation to deal with that. Otherwise, it's going to take a long time. I mean, if you and I buy
already taking a long time, Skerrit.
Attention retirees, if you're willing to be at your computer from 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. on most weekdays, I can show you
who will have the authority.
Do so. Jerry Nelson, I agree with you right there. His universal soldiers will block the roads Monday morning. Boy, I tell you, Dominic, and problems, boss.
To take those homes from these people. So I know the opposition elements are trying to create this thing in people's mind.
That's a lie.
Or title and so on. But is this
title is important? That is very much important. It shows ownership when you have the title to your land. Skerrit, you yourself said that when it comes down to the Wesley people who apparently were squatting on the land, and say these people are squatting on the land, they're not rightfully theirs. So it's important for people to have the title, Skerrit. How you speak in one way and then coming the other way to make it seem as if title is not important? It's very much important.
The same opposition that told people or said the government is wasting money building house of people. But
it is. You should not waste money. You should use the money to actually elevate the economy. And as a result of elevated economy, the people will be able to build a house. Back in the day, people weren't reliant on the government to build a house for them now. How is today, in a modernized time, people are now waiting for the government to build houses for them? Really? And you're talking about expanding and doing houses all over the place? The government should not be doing these things. The government should be helping the less fortunate, not people who are able-bodied, but because you have destroyed the economy, you are now building houses for able-bodied people. Oh, scary.
In order to create a political issue, I heard the reason on my program too. The reason that issue of no titles.
So he was right when he said you listen. Not true.
No titles. So I heard all the time trying to create that into the mind, but I'm telling you.
Not trying to create security, it's needed. Anyways, guys, I just heard something outside there, so your boy is about to head out. Of course, if you want to check out the vibrations, guys, you can just look out for that link right there. PM Roosevelt Skerrit, end of your press conference. And with that said right there, guys, if you've not done so, click the thumbs up button. It's so unfortunate that I have to rush out right there, guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys who tuned into these vibes. Big up yourself. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button in that regard, guys. And of course, with that city right there, I'll see you guys in the next reaction, live interaction reaction video right there. That was a mouthful right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, be real, salute the king always. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that vibrations right there. And of course, if you're not commented, you can also leave your thoughts in the comment box below as well.